In this episode, we will discuss Scientology and other religious cults, as well as their effects on those directly and indirectly involved within such organizations. We do not intend to make light of these topics, nor do we wish to diminish those who have lived experiences.
We are discussing a conspiracy theory and do not claim any of these ideas as facts. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to the Mongers,
where we talk about the strange and freakish things in our slice of the world. I'm Christina.
And I'm Quincy. Let's wonder, Monger. Hey, Christina.
Hi.
How's your week going?
It's going. How was yours?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Anything noteworthy from your week?
No. No, honestly, no. Not at all. We have a question, though, that we have to address.
We sure do.
It's the colors. I know colors are involved.
Yes.
It's...
If you could taste a color, what color would you want to taste and why? It was posed by your husband, and it is a fantastic question.
Like, I'm here for it. Also, I want to know what yours is first.
So it's very specific.
Okay.
It's the dandelion yellow Crayola crayon color. Crayon.
Oh, that's...
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's the dandelion yellow one, and I thought it was funny considering we're Army wives, and like I'm sure there's a Marine out there that knows what that tastes like.
I died.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But like if it like I equate it to like I feel like it would taste like the color itself, not the crayon. I feel like the color itself would taste the same way that like a nice sunny day feels. Kind of like how Dr. Pepper is supposed to taste like how old soda shops used to smell.
Which is nuts. Like, yeah. I can't believe that's a thing. But also, I don't think I'm quite understanding that concept. Like, you're not describing a taste. You're describing a feeling, which is not actually helpful in this particular instance. Because, like, when I think of that color that you've described,
yes,
I think of, like, sherbet or something.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like it would equate to, like, kind of how a bee's knees, the gin cocktail, tastes.
Okay.
Because it's technically got an orange juice in it, the bee's knees does, but there's honey in it, and it's just, like, this really, like, inviting... Yeah, I would equate the dandelion crayon, a nice, warm, sunny day, and the bee's knees to all be the same thing. So I think it would probably, hopefully, taste like a bee's knees cocktail.
Great. Love that. Mine, I think would just be purple, because
any specific kind of purple?
Grape purple,
Teletubby.
Ew.
I don't like. I'm asking, like, what kind of purple?
Like a deep purple.
Okay, like a deep purple.
Yeah. And I would imagine like, that would taste like grape. Oh, that's a good face.
like grape medicine.
Sure, but I would never equate grape to grape medicine.
Or like the fruit, or like the artificial candy.
The artificial candy.
So medicine.
You hate that so much. Okay. I see that in your face.
To me, like artificial grape tastes like medicine does, like the liquid, like the NyQuil, or like the stuff you used to get from the doctor when you had like strep.
Okay, fine. How about this? I think that we could both agree that this color would probably taste really good.
Great.
Brown. I guess not.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were going for.
Like that gives me like Indian food kind of spices, like warmer spices.
Oh,
like that's what I'm thinking. Like cinnamons, nutmegs, stuff like
yeah,
that.
I agree with that. Yes.
And I realize I probably should have explained it before I just gave you brown.
Like what kind of brown? I was like, because I'm like, are we out here licking trees? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, we can taste gin anyway. Like we can taste a Christmas tree. Drink some straight gin. Like
that's not Christmas.
Like
that's a hangover.
Gin tastes like grass clippings and Christmas trees. Anyway.
She says it like it's fact and then says, whatever. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on to things that aren't exactly fact. But, so Jake's been on a work trip and he told me to get my life together. Which is honestly the best thing. He kissed me goodbye and was like, get your life together. I'll be back in a week.
Yeah, like information that's important beforehand. Before you said that, even though you just said, is the fact that your sleep schedule's been fucked for like 3 days now.
Not even just fucked, fucked.
Right. McFucked, if you will.
McFucked. Yeah, it's not been great. Especially, was the sound in the background concerning to you?
Yeah, because there was like 4 of them.
That's my cat's automatic feeder. And it doses out in like X amount of times, like the thing twists. It gives like a little bit of kibble, right? So we have it set to a specific amount, so it has to twist that many times. And then we have 2 cat feeders, one for each cat. So they both twist like 2 or 3 times. Okay. And that was the cat feeder. I'm so sorry. I hope that picked up on the microphone, so this is not a useless conversation.
Great. Let's hope. Anyway, you were tasked with getting your life figured out.
Do you know what I did instead?
Tell me it was at least try to fix your sleeping schedule.
Oh, I did that too.
Oh, well, that's
it's
good.
hard when your cat is obsessed with licking the lampshade on your bedside table.
Clearly.
But, no, I've fallen down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
Oh, so you've been multitasking. Got it.
I would have never called it that, but yes, we're multitasking.
Okay.
Getting goop out here.
Give me that goop. You weren't ready for that one either.
Do you think anybody's ever flirted with Gwyneth Paltrow that way? Give me that goop, Gwyneth. Give me that goop.
I hate that a lot. Please change topics so I can think about anything else. Thank you.
Great. So the conspiracy theory is Adam Sandler a secret hero? It was posed by a Reddit user under the subreddit Red Letter Media. It was posted about 6 months ago, and it was posted by somebody called Banana Nut Nightmare.
Love that.
That's a fantastic name. That like blows all of mine I've ever had out of the water, and I've only ever had 2. Anyway, Banana Nut Nightmare poses this conspiracy theory. The players in this conspiracy theory are Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Of course he's here. Hey, hi, hello, Tommy boy.
We talk about Tom Cruise a lot.
We? You want to talk about we?
So I never meant for this to turn into a let's talk about Tom. Like, I never wanted a segment that was let's talk about Tommy boy. But he seems to come up a lot.
Yeah, he just cruises right in, doesn't he?
That's the best thing you could have ever said. So, Tom Cruise, also Katie Holmes, Tom Cruise's ex-wife.
Yeah.
Their kiddo comes into play a little bit here.
Okay.
Her name is...
Isn't that something from Australia? Surrey.
Surrey.
Okay.
Yep, her name is Surrey. I hope we're pronouncing that correctly.
Fingers crossed.
And this conspiracy theory also has to do with Erin Andrews, who used to be a reporter for ESPN.
Okay.
And it has to do... There's some other major players that we'll get into as we talk. But what's posed is it's beyond speculation that Adam Sandler produces these cheap projects in order to put his friends in these films so that they all have a good time and make some money. Okay. I feel like we all kind of know that.
Yeah.
You know, like David Spade and,
I've never thought Adam Sandler. Oh, there's David Spade too. I've never thought that before.
He's in a ton of his movies.
Really?
Yep.
The guy
Kevin
with the crazy
James,
eyes. He's in there all the time.
Steve Buscemi.
Jennifer Aniston.
The
crazy eyes guy was
Drew Barrymore.
Steve Buscemi. I just couldn't. Come up with the
name. Anyway, so he makes these films and puts all his friends in, so they all get a paycheck and some good laughs. And if they do good, they do good, and if they don't, they don't. And that's fine. Yeah. So the theory poses that Adam Sandler is putting together films, and I have 2 instances here that we'll get into, 2 specific films where he has slapped them together in order to help a woman get out of a situation she might not have otherwise been able to get out of without some sort of helping hand or like guys over it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do have a question already,
Yes.
though. Is he putting these projects together for these people, or is he already just doing this and he's like, well, here's a random part I put in here just for you so that you have a situation good?
That's kind of what the question being posed is. Is he doing this on purpose in order to help these women? You know, because we'll start with the film Jack and Jill, released in 2011.
Okay.
I'm going to say I've not seen this film.
I don't think I have either, to be honest.
But in it, he casts Katie Holmes as his love interest, I believe, or she's plays a small part in Jack and Jill.
Okay.
And for some background on Katie Holmes, around this time, around 2010, 2011, when this was being filmed, Katie Holmes was not seen in the tabloids, and it's likely due to the fact that she was married to Tom Cruise, and he is notorious for being very controlling.
Okay.
Over like his partner's lives. He's had 3 wives, you know. So he has had some issues with women in the past.
Yeah. And I think overall, like, he comes off as an angry man.
Yeah,
in general.
very controlling.
Yeah.
And so it's also rumored that Tom Cruise had to, quote, approve the parts that Katie Holmes was taking.
No joke?
That's what's rumored. I'm not entirely for sure, but I can kind of see it.
Yeah, that does kind of fall in with the whole Scientology thing, though, doesn't
Right.
it? Like,
So-
that's kind of their whole thing.
It's like Katie Holmes is being controlled by Tom Cruise, who is being controlled by Scientology. So it's just like this umbrella effect kind of thing.
You know, I don't think I would ever think Tom Cruise is being controlled by Scientology. I think he's just actively a component of Scientology, and that just kind of bleeds into who he is.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to bang around over here.
Just thunking.
Yeah, sorry, it's my water bottle. No, that makes a lot of sense. I would agree with you there.
Okay.
And it's really bled into his life.
Right.
So, going back to Adam Sandler.
Yes.
He is making Jack and Jill, right? So he casts Katie Holmes as a part in Jack and Jill, which started off as like a very interesting choice, like because as we talked about before, he usually casts women like Drew Barrymore and Jennifer Aniston, people who are notably comedy actors, and people who have experience in the field. And the woman he cast previously as his love interest in the movie he made before Jack and Jill was Salma Hayek.
Okay.
I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And like, of course, if you're going to cast somebody as your wife, why wouldn't you cast Salma Hayek, you know?
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. So it's one of those things where we know he casts his friends over and over again. And so by picking a new person, aka Katie Holmes, there's kind of this like air of mystery almost around why he would pick, you know, this known drama actor.
Yeah.
You know, she was big in Batman and that kind of thing. So she's not a comedy actress. So it was kind of an interesting take to pick her.
That was definitely a very specific choice that was made there.
Yeah. And so around this time of filming, Katie was known to want to divorce Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And get out from under Scientology's thumb, as it were.
Which, fair. I would want that too.
Yes. And so it was a problem for her to be able to find time to go secure lawyers and find an apartment and, you know, get control of her own money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I assume since they were married, they probably had their money combined and all that stuff, you know? And so going back to the theory, like if Adam Sandler gave her this part, she would be making her own money, you know? So that's one way that she's securing her way out.
That's true.
And then because she had a small part and she's a very experienced actress, she could learn her lines quickly and need minimal time to rehearse because they're not big blockbuster movies. They're not taken as seriously. So she would need less time to rehearse so that she could knock out her parts during filming and then use the cover of her filming this movie, Jack and Jill, to then go meet with lawyers, secure housing, secure her own bank accounts, cell phones, everything necessary for her daughter, as well as her to survive outside of being married to Tom, outside of Scientology. And then neither Tom nor the organization could hold anything over her head.
Okay. I can see that playing out for sure.
So it's kind of an interesting, like, going from, like, why would they pick Katie Holmes to, you know, having this understanding that she wants to get out from the church of, like, get out from under Scientology, you know? Because I'm not entirely sure if she was in it or if it was, like, she's in it because she's married to somebody
she feels
who's
a pressure to actually join directly
in this. So Katie Holmes, it's, like, rumored that there was, like, she didn't have a whole lot to do in Jack and Jill, but the job did provide her enough money and possibly the alibi. So it gave her an excuse to go out. And then if Tom called her, Scientology checked in, she's working on this film.
Okay.
So she's got this alibi. So it's, like...
It's kind of a pretty smart plan.
Yeah.
Like, if it's actually true, though.
Right. So it could have been her plan, and she just needed to secure any movie, and it didn't matter.
Right.
It could have been Adam Sandler is a close friend and knew that she was having this struggle and was like, I'm going to, like, close my eyes and hold out my hand, and if you want this help, take my hand, I have it, here it is, but I'm not going to cut you a check. I'm not going to, you know, force money into your hands, that kind of thing.
Right. Like, you work for us, you have to put in the work and everything, but I'm giving you an opportunity to make sure that things are in a better spot for you.
It's not like he's not the white knight coming in and just, I did it. Here you go. I fixed your life. It's the equity. I'm giving you the little boost you need for you to figure it out.
Right.
So basically the theory is he slapped this whole thing together as a cover for her in order to divorce Tom Cruise and get full custody of her daughter, you know? So she had time to work with lawyers and all that good stuff.
That's wild.
But this theory goes deeper.
Excuse me? Like, I know you mentioned somebody else earlier.
Yeah. So
like,
her name...
Is there a lot of people?
So there's only two that I really know of that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So the second one has to do with former ESPN reporter Erin Andrews. Okay. So she was cast in the 2012 movie That's My Boy.
Okay.
I've not seen this movie either. But she was cast in a very small role as a receptionist, actually. But here's where her trouble lies. So in 2008, Andrews was stalked by a man named Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett actually filmed naked videos of her through peepholes at the Marriott Hotel in Nashville and again at the Radisson in Milwaukee. So he did this twice.
Oh my God.
Followed...
What a fucking psycho.
Yes. Michael Barrett, yes, psycho. So then in 2009, he posted the Marriott video online.
Dude.
Yeah. So, like, it was one thing that he had these videos, you know, in his secret possession, and then he decided to put them online for everybody to see.
Like, tell me this guy's behind bars. Like, fucking yikes.
So then she filed lawsuits against Barrett, the Marriott, and the Radisson.
Right.
Because, like, you know, you have a hotel room, there's supposed to be this sense of security.
Yeah. There's some sort of negligence going on.
So it's reported that employees at the hotel told her stalker what room she was in and gave him the room next door.
Oh my God.
So he was able to film them because he was next to her.
See.
He was in the room next door.
And that's fucking nightmare fuel. Every time I go to a hotel, I'm going to have to, like, change in the fucking bathroom, like, in the tub or something now because of this. Ugh. I hate that. I hate that so much.
I also hate that. Which is, like, I can't. There should be confidentiality there. Like
There really should.
Like hotels don't need to know who's staying where. Like
No, and they definitely don't need to be telling random people
where semi-famous people are, or they shouldn't be telling anybody where anybody is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're famous or not. You're a person.
But
That's disgusting.
So not only was this happening, she was actually fired from ESPN for refusing to talk about the incident on air.
What the fuck?
Yeah. She was fighting the Marriott lawyers in court, and she refused to address it on air because it was her personal life separate from her home life.
And
her court case was her home life.
That's actual trash, ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So then Adam Sandler hired her to play a receptionist, and that's my boy.
Okay.
So it's a nice paycheck, you know?
Yeah.
For like, and she's used to reading a script, you know, and I feel anybody can act if they're coached in the right way, and if it's a small part, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it gave her the stability to not only make money from this film, but also then be able to go to court and make all her court dates and meet with her lawyers and have the flexibility in her schedule to actually attempt to win this lawsuit.
Right. And I'm sure like she got fired from her old gig, which means she doesn't have anything coming in. She's already got a reputation now.
Yes.
And you can't exactly put ESPN on your resume anymore.
Exactly.
So you kind of don't have a whole lot of options there. And if you get something to kind of just say, hey, just until you get back on your feet, I know you're going through a lot right now, that could really fucking help.
Yes. And once again, it's here if you want it.
Right, yeah.
But I'm not forcing you into anything. I'm not writing you a personal check. I'm giving you, like, it's an opportunity.
Right, to better your situation.
And if you don't want to take it, no harm, no foul.
Right.
So that kind of goes back to so there's these two incidences, Katie Holmes and Erin Andrews. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Do you think like Adam Sandler's consciously doing this and there's other situations that we just haven't seen play out? Mm-hmm. Like, do you think he's consciously aware that he is helping these women? Do you think he's friends with these people and they're getting hired on these things and it just so happens that they are working around, you know, and it's their life is falling into place like the way it's cosmically supposed to? Do you think they planned it? Like, I
mean, I think saying coincidences are a thing are kind of like, yeah, maybe once.
Yeah.
But if it's happening a lot, it's a fucking pattern.
Yeah.
So I think Adam Sandler seems to be the type of guy. Never met the guy, so I can't exactly say 100% he is this way. But if this is something that there's lines that could be connected here, it's a highly possible probability because like he makes so many small projects that end up doing pretty decently sometimes.
Small projects is a better way to word that than I was going to. So yeah, small projects.
So he has a lot of these go on. And he's already got so many friends, and he has repeats that come on anyway. Mm-hmm. Writing a small part for someone like Erin Andrews is really easy to do if you're already doing that particular project. If you are making a specific project for that person, that's something entirely different.
Right.
And at that point, you might be the one taking advantage because that makes you a lot of money because you found a situation to help somebody else, but you're getting a paycheck too.
Right.
That could be predatory at that point.
Right.
If that is the way that it's going. If he already had this going on and was like, here, let me help you out a little bit, that's entirely different.
And especially when it comes to things like the receptionist role, you could hire some no-name actor straight out of Hollywood, out of the like boardrooms in which they hire actors. You know what I'm talking about. I don't really know how Hollywood works. You could hire anybody for that.
Grab somebody off the street just to have them say, Table 5, Mr. Bond, you know, anything like that, you know?
Yeah, it's not hard to do small parts like that for most people.
Absolutely.
So it would make sense to me that if he could help somebody by even giving them 4 lines,
Yeah.
You know, he seems like the type of man to take care of the people, not only that he's close with, but people in the community in general, which just so happens to be the acting community in Hollywood. And it's already so horrible that I would like to think that he's maybe doing some good out there, whether he's conscious about it or not, like, or conscious of it, I suppose.
And especially with like the other situation with Tom Cruise and Scientology and Katie Holmes and all that. It's such a fucking insane like situation when it comes to religious cults.
Yes.
Like that's a whole fucking mess. Cause like I know a couple of people in my life that have been through something like that before already. And I did not realize how intricately they are involved in your lives until I had a conversation with them.
Yes.
And it's so insane. It's the smallest things and it's the biggest things. You can't raise your children a certain way. You can't go to the store and get a shirt with a graphic on it. You can't even talk to certain people.
Right.
Because that religious cult does not want you to talk to them at all. You're not allowed to associate. You can't do so much. And with something as big as Scientology, your life is heavily scrutinized.
Yes.
And if Adam Sandler is actually helping get you out of something like that, or, you know, with the ESPN lady with the peeping Tom and everything, like, that's only good. I see a net good there as long as, like I said, the project's already existed. But if it's any other scenario, I don't know, man.
It could turn bad really quick.
Like really quick.
Like going back to the Scientology thing, like I remember when, like, before I was 18, where I would see those, like, documentaries of people escaping cults, right? Like escaping the LDS church and like that kind of thing. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't know how that could be real. I don't know how you could have let something control your life so completely. And then when I was 18, I actually met a woman who, she was only a couple years older than me, but she was sent to live with the guy I was dating at the time, his family.
Okay.
So I actually got to see, like, firsthand what somebody who was trying to deconstruct looked like.
Oh, okay.
And she had days where she would really try to be her own person and do her own things. And then she had days where she slipped and would contact somebody from the cult, even though she was like a couple hundred miles away. And it was just like watching her try and deconstruct was like watching her go through drug withdrawals.
I was about to say, that sounds exactly like somebody that would be trying to go cold turkey, and you just, you have slip-ups, you have moments of weakness, and, like, that's insane to think about.
And I, like, with these two instances, like, I know, so it's kind of hard to form a pattern off of only two instances with Katie Holmes and Aaron Andrews. But I also, like, one thing I feel like could discredit this is there's such different levels of difficulty.
Yeah.
You know, because one of them you're facing, like, the Marriott and, you know, the Radisson. Yeah. You're facing their, like their lawyers and their company.
It's some corporation.
It's a corporation.
Yeah.
Versus legally facing what is considered by some a church.
Yeah.
And facing not only the church, but the trauma of going through a divorce. And just, they feel like really different levels to me. So it's kind of hard for me to go, yes, he's doing great things for, you know.
Yeah. Because, like, the thing with Katie Holmes, that's a very personal situation. Like, not only is it a divorce, that's already a personal situation that you're trying to separate, that also involves a religious cult.
And child custody.
And child custody. Exactly. There's just so much that's involved that's so personal, and to get involved, even the littlest bit, that, I don't know, that seems a little, I don't know, like, you could. Absolutely, and maybe you do things for the better, but also involving yourself in something like that just seems a little too far, and I'm not sure if Adam Sandler's the guy to do that.
And on the other hand, I could also see him absolutely getting himself involved in something like that, because in order to leave a cult or leave like the clutches of this, you need more than just yourself. It's not something you can do alone.
That's true. You do need a lot of support. You do need a lot of people in your corner to like help you through that and to give you the opportunity, a situation to where you can succeed.
So I can see him saying, okay, you're hired and I will look the other way anytime you're not on set. You were here, you know?
Yeah.
And then having this whole situation with Erin Andrews could be coincidental, you know, so it's not a pattern thing, or maybe he did one of them on purpose.
Maybe.
And one of them not. It's really hard to say.
That's true. I mean, a conspiracy theory only holds as much water as the details allow.
Yeah. So I guess that's the question I'm going to pose for this week. Okay. Do you think Adam Sandler is the secret hero out here mishmashing projects together to save women from circumstance? Or do you think it's all coincidental and he just so happened to be there twice, you know? But as these women were saving themselves, part of me wants to really hope that these women are saving themselves, you know? And the other part of me is hopeful that there are good people out there.
Yeah.
That are offering help. So that's the question I'm going to leave you with.
I love that question. And like, if you guys have an answer that you would like to chime in with, or if you want to go down your own rabbit hole on this topic, by all means do so and let us know all about that. We have a Gmail that we would love to receive any sort of feedback from you guys in any capacity. That would be great. What's that email?
You can find us at The Wonder Mongers, TheWonderMongers @gmail.com. We are also at The Wonder Mongers on Instagram. You can DM us anytime. We would really love to hear what you think. It could go any way, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this new kind of different segment for us, the watering hole. We will leave you with the question. Hope you have a wonderful week. Beware of cults. Please don't join Scientology, and we'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.